Sunlight streamed through the kitchen blinds, painting golden stripes on the counter where Emily stood, stirring her coffee. She'd woken up hoping for one of those rare, peaceful mornings she and Daniel used to share. Instead, the kitchen felt cold and silent. Daniel sat at the table, eyes glued to his phone, his thumb tapping away. "Coffee's ready," she said softly, placing a mug beside him. He just grunted, not even looking up. A familiar ache hit her. Trying to break the tension, she leaned back and teased, "You know, if you keep ignoring me, I might have to replace you with someone who actually pays attention." She expected him to laugh, but he just froze. He looked up, his eyes empty, and said with a chilling calm, "Maybe you should." The words hung in the air. He grabbed his bag and walked out, leaving Emily alone with a terrifying thought. Maybe he said that because he'd already replaced her. At school, Emily tried to focus on her lessons, but her hands shook every time she picked up her pen. Her students whispered, noticing she wasn't herself. Her coworker Jenna leaned in at lunch. "You okay? You look tense." Emily forced a laugh. "Just tired." But she wasn't just tired, she was unraveling. Daniel hadn't texted her all morning. No good morning, no update, nothing. When she finally asked if he was all right, he replied an hour later, "Busy." That was it. No heart, no smiley. That evening, as Emily scrolled on the couch, Daniel came in, avoiding her eyes. "Long day?" she asked. "Normal." He shrugged. "You didn't seem normal this morning." His phone lit up, and he quickly flipped it over. "Who's texting you?" "No one." His sharp tone was like a slap. Later, she heard him laughing softly on the phone. A warm, tender laugh she hadn't heard in months. "Yeah, today was rough. I'm glad you understand." Who understood him better than his own wife? Her heart already knew the answer. The next few days were a blur of silence, excuses, and moments that felt like red flags wrapped in denial. Daniel started coming home later, guarding his phone like it held nuclear secrets. Emily noticed a faint scent of expensive floral perfume on his clothes, a scent that wasn't hers. She noticed everything, but she said nothing, not yet. One evening, as they sat at the dinner table in a thick, uncomfortable quiet, Emily decided she had to try. "Daniel, I feel like something's off between us." He didn't even look up from his plate. "You're just overthinking." "Then talk to me," she pleaded. "I don't want to do this right now." When she pushed again, he dropped his fork with a loud clang and glared at her. "What do you want from me, Emily?" Her voice trembled. "Your honesty. Your attention." Before she could finish, he stood up abruptly, leaving his half-full plate behind. Later that night, Emily saw his phone vibrate. A woman's name flashed across the screen for just a second. Tessa. She didn't sleep at all. 2 days later, Emily hit her limit. Daniel was already fast asleep, worn out by exhaustion, or maybe guilt. His phone was just sitting there on the nightstand, charging. Emily sat on her side of the bed, her hands shaking, her eyes glued to that glowing screen. A little voice whispered, "Don't do it." But another part of her shot back, "You already know what you'll find." Before she could change her mind, her fingers were moving. She opened his messages, and just like that, her entire world fell apart. There were so many deleted messages, just huge gaps in conversations. But he'd missed a few. A thread with someone named Tessa Morgan. "I wish I could talk to Emily the way I talk to you," Daniel had written. Tessa replied, "Maybe she's not the one who understands you anymore." Emily couldn't breathe. It was emotional betrayal, deeper and more painful than anything physical. Suddenly, Daniel woke up, saw the phone in her trembling hands, and his face went pale. "Emily, what are you doing?" he asked. Her voice cracked as she whispered back, "What are you doing, Daniel?" The storm exploded in an instant. "You've been talking to her?" Emily whispered, her voice trembling. "Behind my back? Sharing things you don't share with me?" Daniel rubbed his face, avoiding her desperate eyes. "It's not what you think. Don't lie to me," he finally snapped back. "I didn't cheat." "You gave her emotional intimacy," she cried. "You gave her the part of you that was supposed to be mine." The silence that followed was suffocating. Emily waited for him to deny it, to fight for them. He didn't. Instead, he said quietly, "I needed someone to talk to." The words shattered her. "And you couldn't talk to your wife?" His response was a bullet to her heart. "You haven't listened to me in a long time." She couldn't breathe. Her legs felt weak. "Daniel, I tried. I've always tried." He just sighed. "You always made everything a joke." The joke. The stupid joke she made that started it all. Her eyes flooded with tears. "Is that why you said I should replace you?" Daniel flinched, his silence screaming the truth. He'd already replaced her in his heart. The next few days were pure emotional chaos. Daniel slept in the guest room, and I could barely eat. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd see those messages pop up again. Every time Daniel walked past me, I felt like I could smell guilt on him, like some cheap, overwhelming cologne. Then one afternoon, I overheard him on the phone in the garage. He was speaking so softly, too softly, like he was trying to protect something fragile. "Tessa, I can't talk right now." "Yes," she found out. "I don't know what's going to happen." "No, I haven't told her everything yet." Everything. What else could there possibly be? Later that night, his phone buzzed. A message from Tessa. "Did you decide? Are you choosing her or me?" My blood ran cold. I grabbed the phone, marched to the guest room, and threw it on the bed. Choose right now. He just stared, panicked. Emily? No, I'm not spending another night wondering. Choose her or choose me. He hesitated. It was only for 2 seconds, but it was 2 seconds too long. I felt my heart shatter. You hesitated, I whispered. His silence was the only answer I needed. Thanks for watching. Emily packed her suitcase. Not because she wanted to leave, but because she knew staying would destroy her. Daniel followed her into the bedroom, his eyes red and his hair a mess. Emily, wait please. I'm not choosing her. I choose you. She zipped her bag slowly, deliberately. You chose me after thinking about her. That's not fair, he pleaded. Fair. Her voice trembled. Was it fair when you poured your heart into her messages? When you told her you weren't happy with me? That she understood you better? He looked like he'd been struck. I made mistakes. You didn't make a mistake, Emily whispered. You made a choice. He grabbed her hand. Let's fix this. She pulled away. You hesitated, Daniel. And once a man hesitates about his wife, there's nothing left to fix. He slumped onto the bed, defeated. I didn't sleep with her. She paused. Did you want to? His silence was the loudest, most honest answer she'd ever received. She walked out, her suitcase rolling behind her, and this time, he didn't follow. Emily stood in the driveway, her suitcase already in the trunk. When Daniel finally ran outside, his voice cracking. Emily, please, don't go. She wiped a tear away. Daniel, I made a joke that morning. You made a choice. He fell to his knees, begging. She took a deep breath, her voice steady. I hope she listens to you. I hope she gives you the attention you claim I didn't. But I will never again stay. Where I feel replaceable. As she opened the car door, he shouted, Emily, wait, there's something I didn't tell you. She stepped out slowly. What now? His hands were shaking. I ended things with Tessa because she threatened to tell you everything. Emily's heart lurched. Everything. His voice was a whisper. It wasn't just emotional. The words hit her like a physical blow. He broke down, admitting it happened once, and he regretted it. Emily stared at him, then said the words that would haunt him forever. You didn't lose me today, Daniel. You lost me the moment you let someone else touch what was meant only for us. She got in the car, closed the door, and drove away without looking back.